Welcome to the at-home edition of Rocket League Central. I'm Brody LeafXmore, and I'm here to bring you all the Rocket League news to make sure you're caught up to date with everything Rocket League. Starting us off, of course, on today's show, we have highlights from North America in Grid Watch, Double Tap features Rogue, and of course, we got all the things the community is making in Breakout. To start things off, I need to tell you something in case you missed it and you weren't paying attention. Rocket League is getting a Lambo. That's right, now all of us peasants can own a Lamborghini. In-game, of course. Psyonix is partnering with Automobili Lamborghini to bring the Huracan to the game, as well as two events, the Lamborghini Open and the newly announced Battle of the Bulls. And speaking of both of those, it's time to get you guys caught up with Rocket League North America in Grid Watch. North America just wrapped up its final regional event of the RLCS Season X Spring Split, and some familiar faces are back on top. There's never been a more competitive time for the North American region, so let's take a look at the epic highs and lows of this neck-and-neck tournament. The playoffs started with a bang as Rogue, the winners of the first regional of the season, faced off against NRG, the Winter Major champions who have been unable to taste victory since then. Both teams were hungry for the title, but early in the match, momentum seemed to be in Rogue's favor as they scraped out two close rounds. However, a nearly 3-minute-long overtime in the fourth game ended up turning the tide. NRG won the endurance match and stayed on the offensive, winning 3 matches in a row to clinch the set.
Trying to tap this around Garrett. Garrett stops it. It's loose. Turinturo must make the play here to keep it alive. The hit
Gotta
down
keep it
from
up.
The ground. It's
The
on
bounce.
the corner. Turinturo has Taroko low boost.
Here he goes.
So Turinturo going for the air dribble. Hit down. Still left alive now by
goodness.
First Killer. And Squishy will spike it. NRG. They come out bloody, but still victorious.
On the other side of the bracket, Team Envy, the once dominant squad who took North America by storm during the winter split, bodied Ghost Gaming in a crushing 4-0 set. Their one speed bump was a truly arduous overtime in the second game, which lasted more than 8 minutes, in a testament to Ghost's stubbornness and refusal to go down so easily. Envy was undeterred though, and when met with another overtime in round 4, closed it out much quicker.
Well, he went high for the block, and somehow the ball went even higher than him. As Mekto's first challenge, still some boost. This is a good spot right now for Ghost. Would love to have seen yet another double commit. It didn't happen. The pass to Mektos, and it needed to be so much more accurate than it was. But Mektos is going to recover the play. He's made it difficult. Mist pops the ball up, and the third man dunked on in. Mist is going to walk it in. Alpine saw one hint of offense, and they got too greedy.
In the semifinals, NRG found themselves up against Oxygen Esports, a young team still looking for major results to prove themselves. It proved to be NRG's closest match of the tournament thus far, with the two foes trading games back and forth. Oxygen looked poised to win after taking 2 critical overtimes, but NRG held fast and closed it out to move on to the grand finals.
For another final, Oxygen gonna have to look to future events if they want to play for a title here.
Justin just stole that away from Squishy. Oh, that was great. Squishy was like, cool, I'm going to get my 3rd goal, another hat trick for me. And Justin said, nah, you're not.
Squishy says, excuse you. Oh, okay, nope. Not gonna happen. Dostosi put it in his own net. They think about it now. Game over. NRG in 7. Take down Oxygen Esports and advance to the grand final.
Envy, meanwhile, was locked in a grudge match with Space Station Gaming, the very team who had eliminated them in the previous regional event. Much like the other semifinal set, momentum changed hands several times over the course of the grueling match, until finally Envy clinched the last possible game with a 2-0 scoreline.
Mist gonna try and counter them. They keep it in the blue. Atomic's there, and Typical couldn't find a bumper. Atomic now with the dribble. Pass 2, 15 seconds left. The pass is Typical, but Turbo's there. Arsenal now with 10 seconds left. They need a goal in the next 2 touches. Atomic will put it over the roof. Arsenal tries, but no. Reynolds is already out. He can't deal with the pressure. He has completely left the lobby. Envy.
It was time for the grand finale, as two of the region's most decorated teams duked it out to decide the third unique winner in as many spring regionals. NRG secured a preemptive lead with 2 1-0 games, until a couple of consecutive wins, including a close overtime, put Envy at match point. NRG pushed back with all their might to tie things up, leading into the last game, but ultimately their efforts were for naught. Envy clinched Game 7 to emerge NA champs once again.
About 2 good pushes left on Champions Field. Garrett pops it up, but Justin can't go. Turbo all over midfield.
Last chance for NRG. If they could even get out of their own side, it's Tomic just beating all the players. He doesn't have to do much here. Just push it across. Envy keeping possession for so long. NRG now 0 seconds from their own back wall, and they've got to go the distance. Atomic will kill it, and Envy take the regional in 7 games.
Next up for North America, the Spring Major. Could we possibly see a 4th unique winner in a row, or will Envy be able to hold onto their title this time? We'll see what outcomes are in the cards, or in the cars, as it were.
Now, joining me on the show is a legend. It's Randy Gibbons, a.k.a. Gibbs, a.k.a. the president of Rocket League. Gibbs, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Lee, for the epic intro. You forgot about 5 extra names, but that's okay.
Honestly, I've forgotten at this point. You now have the longest name in just a history of long names. That's another title we're going to add on.
Love it.
Yeah, let's start talking some Rocket League here. That's why I got you here. You know, we've gotten to the end here. The Lamborghini Open just finished, and that marks the last regional across all the different the Europe and North America regions here. Of course, majors are still yet to come, but we're getting close to the end, man. And I know you've had a big hand in making this happen. How does it feel to come down to the end of all of this?
It's been a long season. We've never done a season like this before. We normally would go out for about 2 months and do a little season. Then we have a world championship, and then we just have a break for a while. But this is just 9 months in a row. Almost every single weekend there's some action going on. It's draining, and that's for a caster. I can't even imagine for a player. So these players have been grinding all year long, so it's just so cool to see when these players really perform and get one of those top spots and get to win all this prize money. It's just been a blast.
That's true. And now I want to ask you just about, again, because you're back there consulting on all the formats and all the things that are going on here. You know, for you, I know you love formats. It seems like a dream thing for you right now. Have you been able to learn a lot along the way too, or has it just been you actually finally putting into practice the things that you know work?
No, it's been kind of fun to learn as well of all right, we have all these formats. We have the grids as well to experiment to see what everyone likes, including the fans, but pros as well. Because I think there's a lot of times where we'll go into a format where they're asking for it, and then about halfway through a split, they're like, most fans are starting to be like, I don't actually like this format that much. So it's been a lot of fun to experiment with what people actually like, and then we'll see what happens in the coming years, because who knows what we do from here on out.
Well, I was going to say, do you have a lot of devious things cooking up back there?
I got a couple more ideas for maybe a few more years coming up, but we'll see. We'll see what they allow me to try to throw to them,
that's true.
Who knows?
Yeah, I can imagine one of them just being some crazy, multi-year long format that takes forever to do.
I'm just going to add Rumble in. I'm going to sneak it into the rule book. No one's going to realize. They're like, oh, I guess we're playing Rumble this split. And that's how it's going to be.
This is the first time we got to showcase 1v1 as a mainstay on the RLCS broadcast here in the Battle of the Bulls. And this was really cool because we had high-level talent, $5,000 best-of-1 show matches. And it was just really cool to see. So seeing that on stage, how was that for you getting to see the 1v1s in the mix?
Oh, it's been awesome because I love to see new game modes added, and especially 1v1s, because you have to have mechanics, but you have to have a big brain as well. And you can see it on the field. It's hard to see it sometimes in threes where everyone's moving around so much that it's hard to tell exactly what they mean to do. Or is it, it's a random 50-50 and they just happen to be there. But in ones, everything is so calculated, so it's fun to see. But the pressure as well, 5 minutes for $5,000. It was so cool to see a player, OSM. His lifetime earnings in Rocket League were about $3,900. And in 5 minutes, he doubled that. It was insane. So it's just really cool to see these players they're like, hey, maybe I'm not so good at threes, but now ones is coming into the
Yeah.
mix a little bit, and they get to show that off.
I think the other thing we talk about in those ones too, of course, was great seeing again Khaled, Middle Eastern player on the main stage there. Some great things, but also Ashley, another player that a lot of people are just recently discovering and finding out about now. Born with one hand and was still able to win a high pressure match in 1v1 at the top level of 1v1. That was just a cool story.
Yeah, so it's crazy too because he just uses a PS4 controller with basically the normal button layout. He just will play it with one arm like hitting the R2 gas, and then he uses his chin to hit all the buttons.
Mind-blowing.
Which is insane. So on top of that, I asked him, I'm like, all right, so how long have you been grinding ones? Because he came onto the scene pretty recently as like a top player. He's like, 4 months, because I got a PC at Christmas time. I'm like, so one hand already, and now you in 4 months you just elevate yourself to like a top 5 player in 1v1s. I can't wait to see what else he does.
All right, Gibbs. Again, because I missed 5 titles and that's 5 other jobs you probably got to get to. So I'm going to let you go here. Thank you so much for joining me, Gibbs. It was great chatting with you.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Beautiful play.
LJ, the leader for Oxygen.
He's still going. Oh!
And he got it!
Oh!
LJ! Never giving up on the play!
This is immaculate. He got the flip reset. There's a little level of prediction that you could go for with some of these plays, but it's all getting thrown out the window, and that one almost got thrown into the top right corner. A pass to the midfield for Garrett G, and it goes up to Rocco, or Turo. What is going on? Literally, what is happening, Jay?
I mean, look at this play from Garrett, who delays his shot
Turo.
as much as he can.
Onto the backboard. Picks up the boost. Joris picks up midfield, though. This will be an even contest coming down into the corner. Jack's in the way. Joris trying to trap this one and carry it around. Oh, Jack put it in. What a play.
Jorius, you take the midfield boost, the corner boost, you put Jack in an awkward spot, and then you flip and keep.
The stall play from Envy has been strong. Their back line is rarely being pressured unprepared, but Arsenal somehow, I fully expected Atomic to block this, but no, he's got other ideas.
Well, he would have, but he was just in such an awkward position. He was thinking they were going to get the clear moving forward.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like we need a Hot Shots Championship Series where we put all the best plays in a pile and have you guys nominate the best ones. Hit us up if you're interested, but until the clowns in the back, aka the producers, figure that one out, let's get to the breakout. Starting us off is Strike Eagle 98, who posts the best kind of goal, the calculated kind. Well, considering that he gave up on the controls after jumping off the wall, we can only just consider that he's done good things for the Rocket Gods in the past to allow that one happen. Anyways, next up is Hombre de Importante, I can't speak Spanish, pulls off the Rocket League equivalent of a bicycle kick. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little painful to watch that ball float in, mostly because it reminds me of all my teammates in ranked whiffing the ball. Just bad memories I try to repress. Moving on though, Novin Chaos says that the suspense is killing them. Legend has it that to this day, they're still waiting. Our next one comes from Drink Flat Pepsi, who says that as a casual dad, this is probably the coolest goal they're ever going to score. And you know what? Don't sell yourself short. In all honesty, I think it's just very impressive that unlike Novan Chaos, you still have your eyesight and don't need your chat to be half of the entire screen. Novan, what is that? What is that? Anyways, moving on. Finally, Little Poom gets a little confused on Neo Tokyo. You know what? I legitimately have. I don't think I've ever seen someone run into that issue before. I am very surprised that you have found a way to show me something unique in Rocket League after the amount of Rocket League I have seen. Well done. I had a hearty laugh. Good job. Anyways, up next, we are taking a look at a fan favorite in Double Tap. It's all about Rogue. Rogue is one of the longest competing teams in the RLCS, from their grand debut in Season 3 finals till their recent triumphs in Season X's various splits. Despite multiple roster shakeups and an ever-evolving meta, Rogue continues to prove their staying power within one of the most stacked regions in the world. Rogue burst onto the scene in June 2017, just in time for the Season 3 World Finals. They had acquired the roster and placement of Atelier, consisting of Sizz, Matt, and Turtle. Rogue's first ever Worlds started out strong, with the team defeating European org, the Leftovers, 3-1, wrapping up the set with a decisive game.
One more from Matt. He'll put it in just before the end. That'll put the nail in the coffin. Rogue makes a statement here in round 1, the 6-2 victory. They could potentially make it one more. We'll find out, but this will be the victory over Leftovers. We'll let the kickoff happen. The crowd's behind them. USA is here to play, folks.
Rogue trying to shine a light in the shadow that is NRG on North America. They're trying their best to close that gap. They want to show that they're here to prove just as much as anybody else. A team that came out hyped, they ended in 6-2. Look at how happy these boys are. Oh, this feels so good for them.
Unfortunately, this would be as far as the fledgling team would go. Rogue had the misfortune of being matched up against Mach at Esports EU and Northern Gaming, the eventual runners-up and winners respectively, in their next 2 matches. The results were as you'd expect, with Rogue losing both matches in near blowouts, going home in 5th place overall.
To intercept that one in front of the net. Scary spot, a shot! Boom! Going Rogue is going home. Northern Gaming will move on to the bracket, trying to beat that 3rd place curse that they've had with a full 3-0 sweep.
Turtle doing his absolute best, trying to stay in the air on that one. He recognized the touch to the outside, got up as quick as he could, but Turbo Pulsa just too much to play that back in, and they catch him on the far post. But this team has been loving this so much, and they were so close to bringing that back, but Northern Gaming was just too much.
The next few seasons went more or less the same way. Amid a series of roster changes that saw the entire original lineup depart, Rogue was denied another shot at the world stage time and time again, even having to battle it out in the promotion playoffs to keep their RLCS spot. It was clear that some changes had to be made. The solution? A total lineup rotation that saw the active trio get replaced by Wonder, AJ, and the legendary Kronovi. Their decision immediately paid dividends, as Rogue managed to take 4th place in Season 7's North American Regional, securing them a place in the World Championship for the first time since their debut.
Sypical gets it away. AJ now back in front. Here comes AXB. Sathuel's crowding. They know it's not over yet. 17 seconds left. They've got to find a goal quickly, though. Sypical doesn't find contact on either touch, and AJ is able to extend it over the top of AXB as well. This blocks so much of the momentum that Space Station tries to build. They pinch it now long down the field, but the clock is just winding down. Kronovi's got all the ball control in the world to burn this clock straight off and send them to Jersey. It's going to be Rogue, the 4th team from North America, as they clinch it up. Space Station, they came close.
An undefeated run in the LAN's group stage gave way to a packed playoff bracket, with Rogue winning their first round game against Triple Trouble 3-1.
Space to work with, and can Rogue find a hole to break out there? They're trying to keep the ball close, but the pressure is still mounting. Tadpole, crossbar, and out, denied again! I cannot believe that didn't go in. Triple Trouble with 2 opportunities that have been literally too wide, and AJ does it! Triple Trouble in a round, and North America is guaranteed a team in the finals.
Insanity in overtime. Cassio thought he could reach it, and AJ delivers the game and series winner. Rogue, 2 rookies, and destruction.
However, they would be stymied by G2 esports in the semifinals, finding themselves on the receiving end of a shutout that would send Rogue home in a respectable 3rd place. After spending a few more seasons in obscurity, Rogue rose to prominence once again midway through Season X. The new roster of First Killer, Taroko, and Turinturo turned heads when they took the Winter Split's 3rd regional event, with their momentum carrying through to a 2nd place finish at the Winter Major.
25 seconds left, and Rogue's holding on.
Oh, that's a great pass to Squishy, and he missed it. He was trying to go straight back across the pitch, looking for Garrett G, probably. And now they're really going to try and exercise themselves horizontally, spread Rogue out, and look for an opening.
7 seconds left. 1 goal game. 0-second drill incoming. Off to the edge, and Rogue just holding on to control. Taroko's going to put it into the ground. That's Rogue. They take the first series.
And their streak didn't stop there. When the spring split kicked off, Rogue put their best foot forward and triumphed in the first spring regional, asserting themselves as a major threat in North America.
We have 17, and First Killer was camped on the wall already, punished.
It's got to feel good for Rogue. They took a win in the last split, and everyone said they got to do it again for us to really have them in the top conversation here. Well, here they have done it again. Rogue, regional champs here for the spring split event number 1. They'll take that one down, the best team in North America for this weekend.
Rogue's path has been long and tumultuous, but they've been able to persevere nonetheless. Through all the ups and downs, one thing's been made clear: Rogue's not going anywhere, no matter what hardships are thrown their way. For the longest time, Rogue has had some pretty dedicated fans out there, even when the team was just always kind of placing middle of the road. And you're always like, you know what, that's where I think Rogue should be. But now with this new roster, Rogue fans have that payoff they've been waiting for. You just send First Killer in, and he's probably just going to get some GGs from his opponents pretty quickly, because that team is looking really solid. It's only a matter of time before they start racking up more majors and regional wins across North America. But that is all the time we have for today. Make sure to check out more of our content on Twitter @SquadState, and of course on our YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and for a little overtime action, you know it, here's your weekly Backfire.